Hi, this is Damien at Data Runs Deep. This is the first of the three tutorial sections, just having a quick look at the interface itself and Google Analytics interface itself, and I'm going to be concentrating pretty much mostly on everything in this kind of square section here. Now we're looking at data here from my own kind of like modest little blog. You can see the address right up there. So the numbers are pretty small. Hopefully yours will be larger, and you can see that I'm making you feel even better about your website stats already by showing you just how lame mine are. But there we go. So every page pretty much on analytics has a graph that's showing you what you're looking at, and this tells you what the meaning of the line is. That's pretty sort of sounds like a very straightforward thing to say, but it's good that they've got this kind of parity of user experience and how things look as they run right the way through. And I can change lots of this stuff here. I can change the date parameters using the date option at the top, either by doing a click here for start date and then end date, or by manually entering stuff into these boxes. A bit more fiddly than I'd like, but it's the way of the world. And you can break things down as well, so I can have a look at the hourly change if I really want to see a very chaotic looking jagged line as it loads through, just sort of showing for every single hour in that quarter what's going on. Or I can roll through to weekly just to kind of see what the trend's looking like there. Or monthly, mostly only really useful if you're looking at kind of data for a really long period of time to have a look at the trend. Generally, most of the time you'll be sticking with, I think, the day section. That tends to be where I find most of my kind of like time being spent these days. And then below that you've got the sort of info panel here. So we have the number of visits 626 and the number of unique visitors 551. Now I should probably kind of go into the difference between the two. Visits is the number of times the website was visited. Sounds almost too simple to say, but unique visitors is kind of a way of working with that number of visits that's there. When a visit to a website begins, because that's all Google Analytics can track, what it does is it says, hang on a second, has this person been here already? If it's yes, they have, then that's counted as not a unique visitor. If that person has never been there before, then they're saying, yeah, this guy's unique. I haven't seen this dude before. So what you're getting is it's a way of processing the number of visits which are there and kind of saying, have we seen this person before? Are we do we know whether this person has been here before? In order to sort of flatten them down and to say, well, yeah, some people are making more than one visit in this period of time, so that's why you have a difference in numbers between visits and unique visitors. The problem with that is that it relies on lots of different kind of attributes and lots of different kind of things that can influence that. It could be a cookie. So if someone comes along and the cookie usually will expire after about 30 days. So if the cookie's expired, then that person's going to be called a unique visitor, even if they're actually not, if they've been there already. It's going to happen. You can't get around that. Likewise, if it's someone who's accessing on their iPad and they've previously accessed on their desktop, then it's going to be seen as like two unique visitors. So it's just a bit of a messy one, really. And I respect the need for there to be. You've got to have this unique visitors section, because I think people will say, hang on a minute, which is the real number here, and they want to know the number of people who are there looking at it. But to be honest, I think that this one is the one that you want to be spending your time with. How many times is your website being visited? I don't really care if one guy's making 50 visits to the website. It's what can we learn about those individual 50 visits, and how can we make it so that those visits are as good as they can be, rather than just saying, hey, we're just concentrating on the individual, knowing that it's a very kind of fallible and very unreliable way that this idea of unique, it should have inverted commas around that. I might kind of see if I can have that popping up on the video or something before it gets uploaded. But yeah, I'm very, very wary about this, and don't obsess about unique. And it also, just not to skip to the end here, this idea of percent new visits as well, and reflected in the pie chart. Now, a lot of companies are really kind of obsessed about getting right. We don't care about returning, we just care about new, or we don't care about new, we just care about returning. Again, because it's based on this, the cookie and the device, and has analytics seen the person before, it can be, whoa, it's a real kind of wobbly one. So again, they're good for trends, but don't think of them as being absolute. What is absolute is this page views. So that's the number of page views which have occurred on the site over the date range. dead simple, the number of times a page has been viewed by a user during their visit. Now when you take page views and then you get visits and you divide that by that, you get this, which is pages per visit. Now that's an interesting one because it doesn't really exist. It's not saying that every single person that comes along views 1.59 pages, because it's computed as an average, and you're going to have lots and lots of people who only come and view one page of content. Now those people are going to be sort of artificially reducing the number of pages per visit, because if you say a visit that comes through where someone just views one page and then they're gone, well, what about all the people that kind of come through and actually kind of hang out and spend time with your content? So it's going to be forcing that average down, because people just rock up and view only one page. Same really with the average visit duration, so 1 minute and 18 seconds, and that's based on, so someone comes along that's second 0, and they access one page and they go and view another page, and then it's they're looking at the timestamps of how long people are spending on different pages, and then sticking those together to get you an average visit duration. And again, people that just come and view one page and they just kind of, even if they find their answer really super quickly, like they want to find your phone number, so they land on your contact page, they go, yeah, oh yeah, that's that number, and they phone you up. That's actually a good visit because the person found what they wanted, but it's going to look like a very, very short visit, so that's going to be pushing the average visit duration down, and potentially making your stats look a bit bad. Now this is all personified by bounce rate, which is the percentage of people that arrive on a website and only view one piece of content. So they're only coming in and accessing the page that they're on, and they're not looking at anything further, and then off they go. So you can see on on my site, it's a blog, it's not really meant to be doing very much. 70% of the people that arrive, I think they just look at the one piece of content, or they get the answer to the question that they're asking, and then they disappear, and thank you for coming, that kind of thing. But if this was a website where I was trying to get people through and to read some content and then to look at some products and then to watch a video about some products and then to go and buy those products, then bounce rate suddenly becomes way more important. And this is the the figure which is really, really affecting, like we've looked at, pages per visit and average visit duration. So this kind of sort of brings out some of the individual factors that are there. You can, if you wish, you may click on any of these and these buttons here, and it kind of affects what you're looking at. So you can always tell, again, you're looking at page views here, so that brings it up into the main thing. I can have a look at the average visit duration as well and see that, oh, someone there, or some people there, were causing the average visit duration of like 9 minutes 38 seconds. Now what's the betting? That was me on there leaving the website kind of open while I was doing something else, and look, I'm doing it there again. So you can really start to kind of like get down into this kind of stuff and just affect what appears up here as well. The stuff down below, it just tends to be, because analytics drops you in this kind of, I should just sort of say where we are, audience overview. It kind of drops you off here, so it's sort of saying, all right, here's your overview, what you're going to do with it. This stuff tends to be kind of like leap into information, which you can sort of take shortcuts into look a bit further down. However, I would encourage you really just to get used to using the left hand nav here, because that's where everything is, and you need to be able to kind of find where things are kind of straight away. So it's great that all this is here. Oh look, all these people with US English are accessing my website, not many with British English, oh dear, and hardly anyone with Australian English, which is like it is a language setting. I don't know what it does, but yeah, it's kind of information which is there, and if I need it, it's there. But I would encourage you just to get used to using the left hand nav, and the left hand nav is what we'll be talking about in the second of these introduction videos. If you'd like to catch me there, I'll see you there in a second. Thanks.